Welcome, students. In this class, we are going to discuss about another type of titration, that is complexometric titration. Complexometric titration is based on the formation of a complex between the analyte and the titrant. So, the complexometric titration means there is the formation of a complex between the analyte and the titrant. We know what is analyte and titrant. Already we have discussed about analyte and titrant and so on. Here, in this titrations, the ions are converted into a soluble and also the slightly dissociated ions or compounds are formed. Here, the formation of the complex are used to titrate the cations via complex formation. And most, if not all the metals, but the metals form coordination complex with anions or molecules. For example, if you take the ferrous ion, this is an analyte. It forms complex with cyanide and gives the complex that is hexa-coordinated complex FeCN 6 4 minus. Here in this reaction, the molecules or anions that react with metal ions must donate unshared pair of electrons to form coordinate covalent bond. So we know what is coordination bond. The coordination is bond is formed by the donation of pair of electrons by when metal ion to the ligand. Here the molecules composed of metal and chelates are known as coordination complexes. So in this complexometric titration, there is a formation of complex between the analyte and the titrant. Here the complex formation is occurs between the cations, that is the metal cations, and the reagent, that is called the chelating agent. So this forming the complex, that complex is called coordination complex or the coordination compound. And here the chelating agent forms strong 1:1 complexes with the metal like this. Here the formation of the complex between one ferrous ion and six coordinated six ligands. But here, if the chelating agent is forming the strong complexes when the 1:1 complexes with the metal ions. For example, EDTA we shall discuss later. So therefore, we know what is complexometric titration. The complexometric titration, it is the based on the formation of a complex between the analyte and the titrant. Therefore, in complexometric titrations, certain metal ions react quantitatively with the ligand solution, forming stable metal complexes. For example, we can take that is a silver nitrate. Here, can take an example, that is silver. Here, the silver ion reacts with cyanide, forming a soluble colorless complex. It reacts with cyanide ion and it forms a soluble complex, and it is also stable one. 2 minus the two ions is coordinating with the silver ion. So here therefore Here the Hg plus solution, here we can titrate with the cyanide solution. When here the silver nitrate uh, solution is added to the cyanide solution, that is, we can take the silver nitrate AgNO3. So this is titrated with the cyanide solution. Uh, the cyanide solution, so which gives, it gives this uh, silver complex and NO3 minus, here two ions of cyanide is coordinating with the silver. And then here the silver nitrate is added to the cyanide solution, and here the formation of AgCN twice minus is formed. When all these cyanides has been removed, the first excess of silver nitrate reacts with Ag, this formed complex, and form insoluble AgCN twice. So here the formation of this Cn twice minus combines with Ag plus, and it gives, this is reversible, and it gives AgCN twice. It's a stable and also insoluble complex. So therefore, when Ag plus solution is titrated with a cyanide solution, here the silver nitrate solution is added to cyanide solution, and it forms this complex. So this complex is soluble and colorless complex, and it is formed. So all these cyanide, when the after the formation, the all the cyanides are removed, the first excess of silver nitrates reacts with this silver excess of silver nitrate, this is excess of silver nitrate, reacts with to form a stable complex. So in this first excess of uh, the silver nitrate reacts with the AgCN twice minus and gives this complex. So at that stage, we are going to determine the endpoint of the titration by using an indicator. So usually we are using the indicator here is metal ion indicators. For example, eriochrome, black tea, that is called EBT, muroxide, um, like that. So that is the indicator mainly used in this type of titrations, or metal ion indicator. For example, EBT, muroxide, and so on, eriochrome, black tea. Therefore, the complexometric titration is mainly used to find or to determine the concentration of metal ions. Here, the metal ion can be determined the titrating um, by titrating them with a reagent that complexes them with solution. Here, the solution to be titrated is buffered at a suitable pH, and then using a suitable indicator, and the metal ion is titrated with a standard solution of complexing agent. Here, the short color change marks the endpoint of the titration. So, using metal ion indicators. In complexometric titrations are convenient and accurate titration. So, the complexometric titration replaced time consuming gravimetric procedures also. So except for alkali, so already we told that except for the alkali metals, most metals cations can be determined by the titration with the suitable complexing agents. Already I told that except some metals, we can determine by using complexometric titration by use of uh, suitable complexing agents. Here, a suitable complexing agent is ethylene diamine tetraacetic acid. So here the ethylene diamine tetraacetic acid EDTA. If you're using EDTA as a complexing agent, it forms stable chelates with a large number of metal ions. It forms stable chelates with a large number of metal ions, and it is also used as this EDTA is also used as the primary standard in the complexometric titration. Therefore, the complexometric titrations also called as EDTA titration. So because uh, so EDTA here, the ethylene diamine acts as a most versatile complexation agent of all the commercially available complexing substances. Here, the wide range of metal ions could be removed as complexes with the least difficulty. Therefore, it is one of the most um, important uh, the chelating agent in the complexometric titration or the titrant. So therefore, the complexometric titrations is also called as EDTA titration. Here, the most important chelating agent is EDTA. So, so I told that the complexometric titration is also called as EDTA titration. So in EDTA titration, so EDTA is the one of the most common chelating agent used in complexometric titration in analytical chemistry. The structure of EDTA is given here. So why we are using this EDTA has most common chelating agent in the complexometric titration is here it forms the stable complexes with uh, the several metal ions. For example, zinc ion, magnesium, calcium, copper, lead, and etc. And also it forms with iron, cobalt, like that. So these are all ions. Here the EDTA forms most stable complex with the metal ions because EDT has the greater advantages due to so the EDTA, so its ability to form, the EDT has the ability to form 1:1 complex, that is it is as ability to form 1:1 metal EDTA complex. So this is one of the uh, reason. So another reason is its availability in pure form. So availability in pure form, and also its disodium salt solubility in water. The disodium salt of EDTA soluble in water. So disodium salt of EDTA solubility in water is higher, and then the solution is stable for the long time. Solution is stable for a long time over a period of titration. So these are all some of the advantages of using EDTA as a chelating agent in complexometric titration. So they are it EDTA has ability to form 1:1 metal EDTA complex. So that if it forms 1:1 metal EDTA complex, that is more stable, and also availability and pure form of this EDTA, and the disodium salt of the ethylene diamine is the solubility is higher, and the dissolved EDTA forms a solution. That solution is stable for a long time, so that we can use this as a the common chelating agent in complexometric titration. Here the EDTA forms a stable complex. Here the formation and the stability of metal EDTA complex is governed by many factors. They are, if it wants to form the stable complex, the metal ion concentration, so which includes the metal ion concentration. So the stability is governed by these factors, and the another one is pH of the medium, and the concentration of the metal ion indicator solution, and then it is governed by concentration of metal ion indicator, and the selection of metal ion indicator for the particular estimation. And we should select the particular metal ion indicator for the particular estimation, and the selection of metal ion indicator. So EDTA forms the stable complex with the metal ions. There, the formation and the stability of the metal EDTA complex is governed by the many factors. They are the metal ion concentrations. So it factors governed by some of the factors. So metal ion concentration, and the pH of the medium, and the concentration of the metal ion indicator, and the selection of metal ion indicator. So by considering all these factors, the determination of metal ion is carefully proceeded. So we should carefully proceed by using these, by minding this, uh, governing these factors. So now we know, uh, for complexometric titration, the suitable complexing agent is ethylene diamine and tetraacetic acid, because the EDTA is the if it forms 1:1 complex, and it also forms the stable complex. Now we shall see the briefly we will discuss the structure of EDTA. The EDTA is the 6 coordination compound. So this is the ligand. This is hexadentate ligand. Here it donates lone pairs of electron in the nitrogens, 2 nitrogens, and it donates from the 4 acid groups here and here, and this, and so these are the coordination centers in ethylene diamine tetraacetic acid. So it forms, so it is one ligand itself form 6 coordination with the one metal. So that I said that 1:1 coordination with metal EDTA. So if it forms this type of coordination, one ligand with the one metal ion, here there are 6 coordinations. These 6 coordinations are um, form a complex like the which covers the metal ion, and it will not remove the metal ion, and it will not leave the metal ion, so that metal ion will not release from the coordination of from the EDTA in the easily, so that it forms the stable metal ion complex. So metal EDTA complex. So actually, here the EDTA, the structure of EDTA, there are six coordination centers, CH2, CH2, and two nitrogens are the two coordination centers. It will be, it is acidic, it is acid, so that it will be in this form, CH2 COO minus and CH2 COO minus CH2 COO minus. So these are the six coordination centers in EDTA. And in a short form, we can write this EDTA uh, like this, also written as H4Y. Here the Y is called, it represents this ion. This, if you take, this is Y, and here we have the four hydrogens in acid part. So if we include this, means we are getting H4Y. If it is sodium, so salt of the EDTA, disodium salt of EDTA, there will be, instead of two hydrogens, there will be two sodium, so that Na2H2Y we can represent. So this is the sodium salt of EDTA. Here Y is this ion. So if the metal forms complexes with EDTA, the metal complex will be like this. In the complex, the center atom is the metal ion. This metal ion will be coordinated with six coordination centers in ethylene diamine tetraacetic acid. So there is six coordination centers, 1, 2, 3, 4. So it coordinates, the nitrogen coordinates like this, 1 and CH2, CH2H. So it is coordinated, so like this. And here this nitrogen is attached with the another part, that is CH2, and that is acid group. Here we have, this is coordinated again with the metal ion. And then here the another part of this, if we extend this EDTA in this side, CH2, and we have C double bond O and oxygen. This oxygen is bonded with this. There are six coordinations, and another two coordinations will be like this. Another two coordinations here, each nitrogen contains two acid groups. One acid groups here we have given, and the another acid group will CH2 C double bond O, and then it comes into the oxygen. And likewise in another part, CH2 C double bond O, and it forms with the coordination with the oxygen in the acid group. So this is the metal EDTA complex, structure of metal EDTA complex. So it forms six coordinations because EDTA is a hexadentate ligand. There are six coordination centers, two centers are in nitrogen, two nitrogen centers, and other four centers are in the four acid groups. And this is called the metal EDTA complex. Therefore, metal forms the complex like this with single ethylene diamine tetraacetic acid. It could not leave from this place easily. So that this type of complex is more stable complex. This is more stable. And to determine the endpoint in the complexometric titration, we use uh, the metal ion indicators. We shall discuss about the metal ion indicators in next class. So in this class, we have discussed about what is complexometric titration. So the complexometric titration it is based on the formation of a complex between the analyte and the titrant. Here the complex formation are used to titrate cations via complex formation. Uh, Here the most of the metals form coordination complex, not all the metals with anions or the molecules. That is called the chelating agents. The form here the molecules or ions that react with the metal ions must donate an unshared pair of electrons that to form coordination by forming the coordination covalent bond. The molecules are a compound. The molecules are compound of metal and chelates are known as coordination complexes. Here the chelating agent form the strong 1:1 complexes. So now we could understood why for when it forms and how it forms the 1:1 the stable complex with metal ions. So for that we have taken the EDTAs. Therefore we say that this complexometric titration is also called as EDTA titrations. And then we have discussed in this class with an example, that is silver nitrate, the titration between the silver nitrate and the cyanide solution. And we have discussed about the advantages of EDTA as chelating agent in complexometric titrations. So they are the EDTA has the ability to form 1:1 metal EDTA complex, and the availability of the pure form of the EDTA, and also the disodium salt of the EDTA is highly soluble in water, and the solution is more stable for a long period, so that the EDTA is more favorable for using in complexometric titrations. And while we are using EDTA as a chelating agents, the titration should govern these factors. So when you are using as a EDTA, there the metal ion we should concentrate on this factors: the metal ion concentrations and pH of the medium, concentration of the metal ion indicator, and what metal ion indicator we are going to use for the particular complexometric titration. And then we discussed about the structure of EDTA. Here, so I already told that EDTA is the most common chelating agent used in the complexometric titration, and this is the structure of EDTA. So in EDTA, there are 6 donation centers I've marked here, and also how we can represent in a short form that is given here H4Y, and it is used to form, and it is able to form the complex with the several metal ions. I've given some of the examples here, and then we saw the structure of metal EDTA complex. So this is the structure of metal EDTA complex. Therefore, if it forms the complex like this complex is more stable one. So in this class, elaborately we have discussed about the complexometric titration, and I hope you understood what is complexometric titration, what principle uh, in the complexometric titrations. And in the next class, we shall discuss um, how to determine the endpoints in complex titration using the particular indicator, that is the metal ion indicators. For example, heliochromate, black tea, mur oxide, all or example for some of the metal ion indicators. Thank you.